Now, while we're talking about collectAllPar, I want to show something else, and this one is called collectAllParDiscard right here. And what I'm doing in this example is, if you watch the previous videos, I had this one application I named A003, and just as a quick recap, we had this function that prints the thread information, then we had the background task that took 12 seconds, printHello was another task that took 6 seconds, and then printWorld was another task that took 9 seconds. And what I did in that example was I used the for expression. I forked all three of those, and then I used join on all three of those as shown here. And I showed several variations of this, but this was the main or first example. And now what I'm doing in this code here is exactly the same thing. I've copied and pasted that code into here. And the difference here now is in the run value. So this is good down here. I did copy the previous run value here so you can see what that looks like. And what you could do is you're going to replace all of these forks and joins with this function here called collectAllParDiscard. A key here is the discard part. So collectAllPar is meant for when you want to have a return value come out of here, and then you want to store that in some variable over here like X or something like that. But collectAllParDiscard is a way of saying, I want to do the same thing as collectAllPar, except I just want to discard these values. I don't care about these values. And in fact, I don't care about these values because they're all returning units. So if I just hover over one of these, you'll see that the success value over here is unit. So when you're getting unit out of this, you don't care about those. That is a perfect time to use collectAllParDiscard. And again, it does the same thing as collectAllPar. You just discard the results because you don't care about them, typically because they're all unit values. So now if I come over here, and I'm going to run this with the time command. So I named this one A007B fiber replacement. So that's the name that you see over here. And I'll run that with the time command. And that's because this will take about 12 seconds to run. So let's go ahead and hit enter there. So you can see, as before, all of the three fibers start working right away. Background, world, and hello. Hello is completed first because it takes 6 seconds. Then world is completed second because it takes 9. And finally, background is completed because it takes 12. And then the output from the time command is right here. So you can see it took 12.7 seconds of real time or actual clock time. And that's because this is the longest running fiber at 12 seconds. And as I've noted before, if I'd run these sequentially instead of concurrently, that would have taken 12, 18, 27 seconds. Right there is what you would have seen. But we see a little over 12 seconds because it ran all three of those concurrently. So again, while we were in the collectAllPar neighborhood, I wanted to show you collectAllParDiscard because this is what you want to use in the use case like I showed earlier where all of the tasks are returning unit. You don't care about the resulting values, so you just discard them.